We studied water for South Sudan for our charity organization.
South Sudan is located northeastern Africa. It consists of huge plains bordered on three sides by mountains. Sudanese people are extremely kind, nice, and the country is very safe. Sudan has a tropical climate with temperatures exceeding over 110 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer in desert areas. Dust storms frequently occur in desert zones. Water for South Sudan works in remote villages in South Sudan where access to clean water sources is not available. They spend hours each day walking to collect water from an often contaminated source. Their clean water projects serve all community members, women, men, and children, by providing access to clean, safe water and facilitating hygiene, education, and sanitation programs. The reason why South Sudan is the way it is today is because of South Sudan's location in the Sahara Desert and its hard climate. They lack natural resources, which is a big reason for their poor life conditions, but also the country's political instability and internal conflicts has increased the poverty. Sudan continues to cope with the effects of conflict, economic shocks, and recurrent environmental hazards, such as droughts and flooding, resulting in 5.5 million in need of humanitarian assistance. European effect on South Sudan is that the British colonial policy in Sudan developed unsustainable power structures between the North and the South, and between ethnic groups in the South. The result of this mismanagement, underdevelopment, and neglect was that the northern dominance and homogeny within the independent Sudanese government.
South Sudan has a tropical climate with a more desert climate in the north. This climate does not allow for much rain in the north, which is one of the many reasons that water for South Sudan is needed. The South Sudan government is a republic, which means that the people hold the power in the government. It is a representative democracy, so the people choose a representative of their ethnicity to represent them. Different ethnicities of the region include Dinka, Nuer, Shilluk, Toposa, Atua, and others are separated by their heritage. 60% of the population is Christian, while most others practice native
Works in
religion.
the remote villages of Bahar al-Ghazal. They work in isolated villages in which there are little to no accessible clean water for the people. Many of these villagers only have access to highly contaminated water, which can cause illness and even death. The goal for Water for South Sudan is to create a sustainable system, incorporating well maintenance and training as a part of the installation of a well. The organization provides the tools, resources, and plans necessary for these communities to build new wells and improve older ones. Building these significantly helps with the health of the villagers as they have access to more safe water. So the founder of Water for South Sudan was born in South Sudan, but he has been moving between there and the United States while working on the organization. Some ways that you could help support Water for South Sudan and in turn support the people in these villages is to donate or fundraise for the cause. Donating a sum of $110 provides a family of 4 with water for years to come, while even just donating $31.10 provides hygiene supplies to train one village. Some questions that we have for Water for South Sudan is how many wells do you expect to have built in the next 5 years? Usually, how old are the wells that you have to rehabilitate? And what's the average time it takes for you to build a well? And one of these pictures is a before and after of one of the wells in South Sudan that was rehabilitated. It's been transformed into being far more effective and helpful to the community as it's more easily accessible and safer.
The GDP of South Sudan is $4,717, which is the economic output of a nation per person. This makes the average citizen of South Sudan under the national poverty line, which is $12,880. The life expectancy for a person living in the South Sudan is 57 years. This could be because of the lack of public medical health and poverty. The literacy rate is extremely low compared to places like the US and Canada. The difference between the male and female literacy rate clearly demonstrates the gender inequality in South Sudan. South Sudan carries a large number of people under the age of 15, which is about 5.5 million people, or 41% of the population. The urban population of South Sudan is 20.2%, meaning the other 80% live in the rural areas of South Sudan. At the population growth rate South Sudan is in now, they're projected to have 16 million inhabitants by 2020.
With there being not enough water in the country that is drinkable, people need water for South Sudan to create wells and filters to survive. The government is more involved in borders with their northern neighbor Sudan, which stops the citizens from getting the water they require. With a low GDP of $4,717, the growth of South Sudan is severely underdeveloped, which is why people need our NPO to give them the resources they need.
In conclusion, South Sudan is in critical need of support. Approximately 8 million people in need are women and girls. The most vulnerable groups include 2.9 million displaced people and 1.2 million refugees. The humanitarian situation in South Sudan is compounded by deep-rooted poverty and economic crisis. The country faces several overlapping challenges, including internal population displacement triggered by conflict and climatic socio-culture conditions leading to the high levels of food insecurity and malnourishment.